Hey everyone, all right, switching over from the light bar now that we just installed, and we're gonna be doing the daytime running light kind of extension bar. I figured it would, any extra light period is gonna be better than not, but it's this piece that you can see right here. So the kit, I mean, it was only a couple $100 more, so I figured why not jump in, but this blank spot you can see in between the lights, this is gonna go there. Seems straightforward enough, right? The instructions, I can tell you, looking at this one, look far more involved, surprisingly. So we've got a wiring harness and some other things too. So stick with me and we'll see how this ends up going. All right, I'm gonna do kind of just progress things. If there's something notable, I'll go ahead and show you guys as I'm going through. First notable thing, I tried using all the tools that it comes with. This, if you want to really reef your fingers, you can do that. Just use a socket set, especially for the two pieces that are up here, here, and here. You're going to want to use those. Other than that, I'm not sure. Some of you may have had an X, Model X before, and you maybe have taken your frunk out of that or something. This is so much easier than that. I mean, there was, I bet 20 different bolts you had to undo. There's 6, and that's it. So pretty impressed by that. So we'll go ahead and pull it out. All right, trunk out, easy. This is what we're gonna end up replacing, this piece here. 4 tabs, which you just push down like the instructions say, and it just pops right off. Little things here for people that maybe don't work around cars much. We have, oftentimes you'll see some switches have these little tabs here. You want to lift those backwards before you actually try to pull the piece out here. I'm not sure if I can do this with one hand. Yeah, I'm going to do it. But we're going to go ahead and move on from there to the next. All right, pieces out, pieces swapped. Brought this piece out. Be careful with these little tabs as you're trying to lift this piece. This is the button for the hatch. When you're taking it out of the other piece to put into the new one, just be careful on these tabs. Okay. After that, install this back. One thing to probably keep in mind, so the wiring, you stick it back through this portion here. Well, they have an opening assembly right here. I'm choosing to put it over here, the tail, because we're going to be working with wiring this direction. If you put it over here, you might have to go around and such like that. So just something to kind of keep in mind. All right, just goofy things. I was given 2 of the B cables, which totally threw me off because I'm wondering why I had 4 cables. So discarded one of those. Next step here, saying disconnect the vehicle's power cable. Well, that's very unhelpful. After going through things and figuring out, so it is this one, which is basically going to one of the headlights. At least, again, this is what I'm assuming it is. I don't like how they just say vehicle's power cable and kind of just leave it how it is. But that seems to be the one. So we're gonna disconnect that one and go from there. All right, wiring time. I've got some gripes with the instructions again. So if you're looking at the instructions here, they're saying just remove 1, 2, and 3 panels, and it's just right there. No big deal, right? Well, here's 1, here's 2, and then 3 is indicated basically down here somewhere. It doesn't even say specifically. It doesn't give you instructions. So if you're a novice of any sort, yikes. Use your pry bar. This one comes off pretty easy. This one pops out pretty easy. Has a little bit of room, wiggle room and whatnot. But then there was a little T15 bit, or screw rather, right here, kind of hidden. If you can see. Wondered, okay, do I have to get that and bring this whole dash out? Nope, don't have to do anything with that. So I moved this out further, and here is a little, I forget what they call these things, but it's like a little pressure trim trim holder. Well, this is flat when you're looking at it, connected right here, sitting way back in there. That's the ticket, as you can see. Now we're accessing this control panel. Wow. Kind of impressed by that one. Could have been a little better on the instruction side of things, so hopefully that gives you guys a little bit of a heads up. So we're going to go from there. All right, continuing on. So we undid back there the far connection. We undid that. I had to use a screwdriver to kind of gently pry to pop it because it was in there. We installed the wiring harness as stated in the instructions. So here's the wiring harness. Now it says the next side is put the extension, whatever part this is, start feeding it through. You can see, well, feeding it through there, and then there is a hole back. I can't even get a picture of it. It's just terrible. Back up in there. All I can say, and those that have messed with cars, is good luck. Can be frustrating, breathe. I have a bunch of little tools because I've dealt with this enough where I can kind of reach them up in there and hook and pull it out. So just take your time with it. It's gonna probably give you a lot of frustration, but that's that part. Sorry for all the broken videos and everything like that, but I don't have the patience to go through and use stands and everything like that. So you're kind of getting how it is. You can stop and go. One thing, so the extension rod that they give you, which is basically some sort of like a curtain rod or something that's been repurposed. So kudos on them. Anyways, I ran it through, and you can see here as I'm pulling it out. Again, I'm going to show you this. So it's this piece right here is where this flap, where that's going to be, and that's that extension cord portion that's going to be going through there. So we're going to go. So we're bringing it through. Kind of surprised by it. Oh, good. Looks like I lost a piece. Spectacular. And I likely am not going to try to find that. Anyways, so that's how that goes. Oh, sweet. It's right here. Whew. All right. Another thing too that I just couldn't find anywhere in the instructions, but they don't really indicate on this portion of the harness where you're supposed to be connecting it. So I'm looking around everywhere. Nothing looks apparent down here, but over here on the wall of the A-pillar, there's a connector that has this right here. So I undid that. It had the pink wire, and it has a pink wire that's on the harness, so put that in place. And as I said, we always test before I start buttoning up and testing, guessing on instructions. And there we go. So, success. Now to button everything back up. All right, guys, well, there you go. So that is the new and improved. One thing that I am noticing, and I'm not really excited about because I actually do use it, might have to just change it up, but if you can see, I can't put my fingers here. This right here, and maybe I've just got big fingers, but I can't get my fingers underneath the lip of the frunk to touch this button, like at all. You know, I don't know if that's a design thing or if I did something, but I don't think I did. So I'm gonna have to talk and ask CyberGear if that's just how it is. Luckily, there's other ways. I mean, the quality is great. It pronounces, which is a little bit different, but I don't have a huge issue with that. Now that's stuck too. All right, we're gonna have to take a look here and see what's going on. All right, so what I ended up finding out here, reason why we have binding or at least on mine. Uh-oh. Hopefully I didn't. Okay. Anyways, the reason why I have binding happening with my button is the housing for this whole entire assembly. When it goes in, it was squeezing the housing on that button. So when you would push in the button, it wouldn't release it. So I fixed it now. So I was able to otherwise go in, and what I did basically was, let's see here, I can close all that up. Everything all nice and secure. Okay. So what I did on the assembly, so not the light, but the little button assembly, on some of the tabs on the outside, I just shaved off a little bit with my razor blade, and now it's no problem at all. I think I can close it. Watch. So it comes back out, no problem. Like so. The problem still, of course, if you got fat fingers, you can't get in there. So I can get my pinky, but I'm like an extra large or extra large glove. So for what it's worth, I've got sausages. Anywho, so I'm not sure if that's this. Maybe there was just a manufacturing tightness on my particular piece that was sent to me, or if that's something that might need to be addressed overall. But irregardless, something for you guys to keep in mind when you're doing the install. All right, that's it.